This informed my decision to invite the Directorate of Personnel Management, DPM, from the Office of the President to conduct staff audits for 2013 to 2017. The Directorate of Personnel Management gladly accepted and carried out staff audit, which has revealed a number of issues and made recommendations which my government is keen to implement to the letter beginning today. It is now my single pleasure to release this report, and this is the report, to the media and the general public in line with Article 35 of the Constitution. The Vihiga County public is entitled to know what was going on in their government and what measures my government is taking to address or remedy the challenges. Before I officially release this report, allow me to highlight that according to the forwarding letter from the Minister of Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs, State Department for Public Service and Youth, reference number MPYG/DPSM/MIN7 Volume 2, it states that I am pleased to inform you that the team undertaking the above exercise has finalized the report on organizational structure and staffing and payroll audit for the year 2013-2017 for the county, which is hereby forwarded for your implementation. So I have been given option to implement this report by the Office of the President. With the directive, we have highlighted a few key issues and recommendations to be taken by my government, which you will find in the report. The report is quite huge with a lot of information. So after my press release, the report will be available with the county secretary and will only be availed to those who will request. And also this same report, immediately after I finish my press release, I'll forward it to the county assembly for their information and also for support, because there are certain issues in this report where the county assembly is supposed to take note and act. So give me a chance now to give you quick highlights in this report, which will be available to everybody, and it's a public document. It will be available to everybody. The key highlights in these reports are as follows. 1, employment of over 100 staff aged above 45 on permanent and pensionable terms, contrary to the Pension Act. Recommendation: the county government to apply contract terms to such employees, and that we shall do. 2, employment of minors. Those are people under 18 years old. There are a lot of minors who are employed who are under 18 years. And therefore, the recommendation is that any person employed while below 18 years will immediately be removed from the payroll and disciplinary action taken against the officers who signed their letters and put them on pay. This includes the recovery of all the salaries and all allowances earned. 3. Staff on probation for over 1 year. The Employment Act provides that probation shall not exceed 6 months. The recommendation is that such a staff be confirmed in line to Section 71, Subclause 1 of the County Government Act. Number 4, stagnation in job groups. It was noted that hard-working and dedicated staff have been stagnated in the same job groups for many years without promotion. Recommendation: suitability interviews and promotion in line with the career progression guidelines will be undertaken, and therefore those found suitable will be immediately be promoted to their respective positions. Number 5, extension of term of contract for over 60-year-old employees, and these are 491 employees. The regulation provides that only persons living with disabilities and those with special skills should be engaged at the age of 60 and above. Recommendation: we will have non-renewal of their contract on the expiry of the contract. What it means is that all these people who were employed when they were over 60 years, immediately their contract expires, and actually that has happened because we have actually had most of their contracts expiring, and those that were going beyond June, we have agreed to pay in lieu of notice. So basically we are getting rid of all these people. 6, ghost workers who are getting fictitious pay. We have a number of ghost workers who have been identified in the report by the Directorate of Personnel. Some of these ghost workers have various bank accounts which they use to get salaries. So we are going to carry out a quick investigation with the respective banks, and if we find that some crime was committed, prosecution will be instituted. 7, staff sharing a salary bank account. There are a number of staff who are sharing the same salary bank account in various banks. So the recommendation is that we are going to carry out investigation, and if there is any criminal act, will be an act, then prosecution will be instituted, and where possible, recovery of the funds done. 8, fundamental changes in records. A, we have extraordinary changes in job groups and an acceptable jump in job groups. What this means is that we have people who are employed on job groups higher than they were expected. There are also people who are employed on the right job group, but within a short time, they jumped so many job groups and are among the highest paid. We have people, for example, who are employed on job group G, but within less than 2 years, they had jumped to R. R is one of the highest job group in the government system. So all those people we'll have to look at them. We have also people who came direct from the university, and they were employed at those job groups, Q and R, which are the highest job groups. Even if you stay in government, even for 40 years, you would hardly get there. Changes in dates of birth. Employees were made older, while the others were made extremely younger than their original documents. So we have employees who are too old, they were made younger. And those who are young, they were made old. So this again is in this report, and therefore we will also take the necessary actions. C, changes in names and variation in names and documents without supporting evidence. We have a long list of the same employees, but names changing year after year. So we want also to find out why this happened. 9, we have illegal tax exemptions. We have some people who do not pay tax or taxes or statutory deductions. Or if paid statutory deductions, they have not been submitted. This, of course, is against the Constitution. Everybody is supposed to pay tax. But we have people who, in the deductions, tax is not deducted. 10, double salary. We have people who are receiving double salaries. So recommendation is that once this is confirmed and is indeed confirmed, we'll have these people prosecuted and salary recovered. The salary they have earned recovered. Multiple arrears in salaries. We have more than 50 employees earning arrears every month, constantly earning their salaries, and what they call arrears every month is not clear, but this has been on the payroll. So they are named, and if they are still in service, we shall demand recovery and disciplinary action. (12) Salary advance recovery for 12 months. The regulations say that, state that if you get salary advance, you should pay within 12 months. We have so many members of staff who have salary advances, but they have never paid in more than 12 months. In fact, some are over 2 years. So the recommendation is that we shall demand immediate clearance of such a salary advances. 13, we have 84 cases of doubtful and exaggerated leave pay paid more than twice in 1 year. We have people who have received more than twice leave allowances in 1 year. So we will recover that money from their salaries. We have manual payroll for casuals and doubtful casuals. We have so many doubtful casuals that have either been on payroll or have been on manual payroll. So all these we are going to eliminate them, and where possible, institute recovery or prosecution. 15, in that matter, we have many casuals sharing the same ID numbers, meaning that there could be only one person or two persons earning that money, but using just a few ID numbers. The report found out that the government was non-compliant with the minimum wage order. As you know, we have minimum wages that are always paid out by the Ministry of Labor. But when you check through, you find in many cases the government was not compliant. The report notes that we have extremely poor record management. You can hardly know information on many aspects of the government because there was no properly structured record system. We are trying to put the records correct, and I want to assure you that in the next 1 or 2 months, all records will be correct and will be online. There are cases, number 18, where we have no non-adherence to the 2/3 gender rule. There are many cases where we have had this violated, and in our case, the male gender suffered most. Employee exits and resignations were not well managed. There were many cases of salary stoppage without explanation or action. So these are just among the many highlights in this report. You'll find the details and the names of those concerned in the report. To implement this report, we are constituting an implementation committee to ensure that the stated recommendations in this report are followed as we look to establish a more efficient and effective Vihiga County government public service. By September 2017, when this report was instituted, or the study was instituted, during the audit, Vihiga County government had a staff establishment of 3,234, comprising of casuals, state officers, devolved staff, officers from defunct local authorities, and those employed by County Public Service Board, all serving under various terms of service. The DPM, the Directorate of Personnel, observed with a lot of concern that the County Public Service Board did not know the number of staff in the Vihiga County Public Service. I hope you understand what that means. DPM also observed that the County Public Service Board did not know the number of staff in the Vihiga County Public Service. The County Public Service Board did not also provide any documentation that was requested by DPM to aid the staff audit process to date. So that statement says that the Public Service Board has no records of the people they have employed since they got into office. That's what that's in a common language, that's what it means. Finally, from this afternoon, the county government will embark on the implementation of this report, and we are going to transmit the same report to the county assembly for their information, debate, and action where they will find appropriate. And I want to assure you, everybody, that we are not bent to victimize anybody. We are only going to follow the report as given to us. And we shall look for more information before we finally take the final decision. And the decision that will be taken will be communicated in public. Thank you.